Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth and final winner bracket quarterfinal of the Intel Extreme Masters Season 2 LA Challenge. It's another Undead versus Orc and it's another Korean participating here. The last one that we haven't seen thus far, and well, the last participant of this tournament of course that we haven't seen thus far, and that is Lucifer, the Undead here in grey, who starts with a Fiend build, and his opponent from Canada is the Orc player KiWiKaKi, who starts out with a regular build here. So as I said, this is the last winner bracket quarterfinal. The winner is going to face Lin, and the loser is going to face Cecilia in the lower bracket round 1. And the loser of that match, of course, is going to be out of the tournament and is going to have missed his shot at participating in the finals of the entire second season. Blade Master first against, well, it's going to be a death knight. We're not seeing it yet, of course, since the altar is delayed quite greatly as usual with this build. Shop coming next here for Lucifer. And the second ziggurat here is probably going to be the next building of the Undead player. KiWiKaKi in the meantime producing the first grunt, second burrow, also very passively placed. These are not really, you know, accessible for fiends unless they move into very awkward positions, which, you know, can often result in dead fiends, but also they don't help at all against aggression. Blade Master's out, first grunt is out as well. He's gonna start creeping here, gonna take the Ogre Warrior down, gonna grab his first item. Lucifer's Death Knight is halfway out, there is the second ziggurat. So he's gonna use, or gonna have to use another one to wall off the space, decides not to build the ziggurat here initially. And Ring of Protection for KiWiKaKi's Blade Master. So that's going to be good news for Lin, who's for Lucifer of course, who starts creeping with his first Fiend here as well. Needs to make sure not to get ensnared by these creeps, which could end up being a little bit annoying. DK is out right now, first rod bought and used immediately. One of the Lumbergoos actually gets ensnared here by one of the trappers. KiWiKaKi is just doing his own thing though, is starting to creep the second camp with the Blade Master. He can, well, can go back to the shop right now, grab heal salves. That's exactly what he's doing, and then head towards the shop here, and he'll arrive pretty much at 19 o'clock if that's what he's aiming for. Lucifer though, after finishing this first creep camp, finding a Ring of Protection as well, is going straight towards the marketplace as it seems. And KiWiKaKi has the right idea about this, so he's not gonna let Lucifer get away with this for free. Lucifer perhaps anticipating the Blade Master being around the shop at this time, but Blade Master isn't. He's letting him get away with the first kill on one of the Ogre Warriors though. Now doing some damage onto this ensnared Fiend. Halfway down already. Plenty of mana though still on the DK. But he has to give up this first creep camp. Falling back, getting the fourth Fiend. And once again we see one of these Undead players who's going very late for his tech. He's adding the fifth Fiend here before starting his tech. I mean, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of Fiends, but everything else is going to be so late. And by the time the Shadow Hunter is going to be out, it shouldn't really matter all too much. If he's got 4 or 5 Fiends, should still not be able to take a fight here. Getting backpacked though, or is he going for something entirely different? Now grabbing the level 2 by killing the next Ogre Warrior, pulling back towards the bottom, but the next ensnare gives this Blade Master something to work with. Dust used immediately, Blade Master has to fall back, another ensnare, this time only on a skeleton though. Lucifer makes, I was about to say make sure not to hit anything. Any one of those creeps, and actually does make sure of that. Is attacking the Blade Master here with the Fiend, not one of the creeps. So finally loses the aggro here, but it looks like he plans on continuing to creep there eventually. Grunts are idling. There's another Fiend coming, so this is really starting to look like Lucifer doesn't plan on taking at all here. Trying to go for the surround on one of the Grunts. Does not manage to close it though. And the Orc is already on tier 2. TC second is the choice of him though, not Shadowhunter. Lucifer at 35 supply here, only Fiends. He's got no upgrades on those yet. Pulling the creeps, trying to pull the creeps here once again. Orc is coming in though from the bottom with the Grunts. Very, very weird game so far. Another Fiend is out. Yeah, Lucifer just doesn't bother taking. He's just building Fiends. 38 supply. Got like 7 Fiends out by now. Blade Master is really starting to, you know, have a difficult time continuing keeping up this harassment. There is still mana on the DK, but he wants to wait for the Blade Master to drop under 70 HP apparently. But now he's gonna have to use it onto the Fiend because the Blade Master is just gonna heal up. And if the Fiend isn't healed, then the next backstab is going to be killing that one. Ah, never mind, he doesn't have mana, and Lucifer probably was aware of that. Now calling that Fiend. Mana potion for the DK. TC is out. 5 Grunts in total are going to help him creeping, and he's going to take his natural expansion first. Yeah, against this one, just Grunts and Raiders seems to be a fine unit composition for the Orc. And Lucifer is teching. Alright, the classic 38 supply tech with 8 Fiends in total. Yeah, he's able to creep extremely quickly with those. But is he able to take a fight here? Those Fiends are still going to drop like flies. If the TC is coming in with a nice stomp, if the Grunts get into a good position, if the ensnares are used well to prevent any, you know, countermeasures by the undead. But that requires proper micro of KiWiKaKi, of course.
Work complete.
Using dust here, kinda randomly. Ensnare finished here. Does he have a raider out? Yeah, there's the first raider. Bunch of skeletons are being sent to scout, and it looks like KiWiKaKi feels like he can't take a fight right now. BM is coming in. He does. I should maybe get an invul potion here before the fight, because the focus fire is not going to be, you know, all too weak by the undead. 1-0 finished in the meantime for him. Tier 2 tech also getting closer to finishing. This is a pretty awkward choke actually for the Orc. He should have a difficult time really getting a good angle against these Fiends. Lucifer is charging forward though. Here in this open area would be better for KiWiKaKi, but Lucifer, yeah, doesn't seem to be all too willing to give him that fight. And yeah, now speed scoring in. Lucifer eventually charging forward, and yeah, there we can see it. The Orc getting into a good position here, immediately killing the first Fiend, and it doesn't matter how many Fiends the undead has against this sort of unit composition. So yeah, Lucifer, I don't get it, but okay, he's finished tier 2 in the meantime anyways, going for tier 3 right now. Getting the Lich. I mean, it's not like he could have crept the stuff he crept with only like 5 Fiends instead of 8. And KiWiKaKi keeps up the pressure with the Blade Master and some Raiders. Just throwing ensnares on those Fiends to prevent them from moving. Running around with the Blade Master should already be quite annoying to deal with for Lucifer. In the meantime, the TC continues creeping up. Boots of Speed, level 3 almost for him, and an expansion is coming. At this stage where, you know, as I repeatedly continue saying, it seems to be difficult for the undead to fight. Now the Lich is going to be joining though, and tier 3 is halfway finishing, so Lucifer is getting there. Very, very slowly, but he's getting there. So yeah, spawning, TC, reaching level 3 here. The Blade Master is gonna have to, well, buy some very, very good protective items though. Only level 2. Only 1 ring of protection at the moment. This doesn't really do all too much against the undeads, Coil Nova and the focus fire with all of these Fiends. Still running around here. He decides to go Frost Armor first. And KiWiKaKi falling back. Yeah, creeps are gonna be pulled here. The TC and the grunts, where are they going? Getting aggressive as well as the peers here, so it looks like KiWiKaKi wants to take the fight to the undead base. There is a town portal on the Blade Master. Claws and gloves have been found as well by the TC, so perhaps some items to be transferred to the BM eventually. And it looks like he just wants to hang out close to the undead base. Slaughterhouse is coming, tier 3 about to finish. I don't think he's going to be able to get that slaughterhouse. Or is he? Going for it immediately. That would be quite painful for Lucifer here if no statues. And I think he's going to get it though, yeah. Acolytes pulled too late. The undead is coming in from the bottom. The grunts are being pulled towards the top already. I guess a town portal is going to have to be used here. Is the TC even going to get out alive? Stomp prevents another coil from striking. So yes, he's getting out alive. The grunt here is not being attacked by the Black Citadel. So, well, if Lucifer is going for the kill, then that would have taken a while. But Lucifer decides not to go for it. Expansion is up and running. Lucifer has seen that though. So he knows that he's going to have to do something about that eventually.
Our forces are under attack.
Level 2, 3. This Blade Master seriously needs some experience. It's kind of a, you know, tricky position for KiWiKaKi. I mean, don't get me wrong, things are looking very well for him if he's able to keep his Blade Master alive. The question is just, should he creep with this BM right now and, you know, take the spots he can quickly take, or take the ones that Lucifer takes if KiWiKaKi decides to play it passively? Because on the one hand, he needs to creep some, on the other hand, he's got the map control, so he doesn't really... It's not really, usually not really good for the orc to allow the undead some creeping if the orc has map control. It looks like we're gonna see another fight here. 4 Kodo beasts on the field already. Speed scroll used, the orc units in a bit of an awkward position though. Now charging forward finally. Speed scroll is already over. Coil Nova kills the second raider here in this fight already, and it looks like Lucifer just wants to get rid of that ensnare to be able to get some good kiting in. The stomp is hitting very, very nicely, but yeah, KiWiKaKi is just in such an awkward position here, and the next speed scroll even has to be used just to get out of there. So despite being up by 15 supply, this fight has gone horribly for KiWiKaKi, and that clearly shows, you know, how dangerous this game still is for him, in how, you know, difficult a position he still might be in. Or to try and win this game. Cryptlord is joining right now. Lich has picked up the orb in the meantime, obviously. Looks like now KiWiKaKi is getting finally ready for a better fight. Lucifer nicely dodging one of the ensnares with the burrow here. Stomp onto the DK. The Blade Master is not going for him, going for one of the fiends. One of the Kodo beasts is charging forward. Lucifer is really gonna have to give it his all, preventing the Kodo from eating here with the Impale, and that Impale is hitting very nicely. Kodo is being focused out. Lucifer so far hasn't lost a unit in this fight. Next Stomp is coming in though against the Lich and the Death Knight, and he's trying to go for the hero kill. The Death Knight does have plenty of mana though, healing the Lich up entirely, and the TC is going to be forced to use this Immo Potion though. Lucifer apparently is going to be able to squeeze out with all of his units. The ensnare's not really hitting perfectly here by the Orc player. Blade Master is once again going for the Lich. The next Kodo Beast is being sniped out. Ensnare against the Lich. The TC is completely out of position, not able to stomp the DK here with any decent timing. Now finally gonna get the kill on one of the statues. The Lich continues being focus fired, but there's so much mana on this DK, so I think going for that Lich is really a mistake here. And now the TC is going to be the one in trouble, but the coil has to be used defensively again to keep that Cryptlord alive. Lightning Shield used onto that Cryptlord. That's doing a decent load of damage as well. The next Fiend is being burrowed here with nice timing by Lucifer. Finally he's gonna lose another Fiend here. 2 Fiends being burrowed with a very low HP. Blade Blast is trying to get into good position again. At least taking down some skeletons here finally. TC all the way back to his base. Looks like now maybe KiWiKaKi is going to be able to force the TP of the DK. But look at the Blade Master running around like a moron here. And now finally, as the Blade Master gets attack surface, gets access to this DK, the next ensnare is actually being dodged here with the burrow. At least that's gonna force a Dust of Appearance out of the orc. Yeah, finally the Death Knight is forced to Townport, but what a trade for Lucifer. He lost so few units. Well, going to lose that one on top of things. But on the other hand, the expansion is still standing for KiWiKaKi. Mana Potion bought on his Death Knight. A lot of damage output has been spent on this Lich. And he didn't really get all too close to killing him. 4-3 and soon to be level 2 Crypt Lord for Lucifer against 3-3 for KiWiKaKi. That clearly shows how this trade just went. And not a single one of these surviving Kodos does have a Fiend in its stomach. So 50 supply again for Lucifer, who has no Town Portal this time. He's getting a new one though. Mana Potion on the Death Knight. No Invul Potion here. No Heal Scroll. Basically only the Mana Potion and the TP on the DK. Morphing a Destroyer here right now. Perhaps the second one as well. Yeah, even bringing Ghouls. So Lucifer wants to break down this expansion right now against 73 supply of KiWiKaKi though. But he needs to get it into a good position. He's got 2 Speed Scrollers. Kodo is now slowly coming in from the top. The army very fast stretched out and snare onto the first destroyer though. Healing is being used on that one, but it looks like it's still going to fall, or is it? Stomp is hitting very, very nicely by the TC. Blade Master is coming in for the Lich once again. Frost Armor used, Coil used onto Lich in time. The Kodo is trying to move forward here. Still pretty awkward in this narrow choke, and the TC is again the first hero that's gonna have to run. Speed Scroll used. The Lich once again is surviving here. And now KiWiKaKi is giving up the focus fire on that one. The DK once again is forced to fall back. TP has been passed on to the Lich, so he anticipates to eventually be forced to use the Town Portal here, perhaps after trading very well. Again, Stomp is coming in by the TC again, level 4 for him right now. The Lich is taking very, very little damage by, you know, Raider, Grunt, everything slowed. Blade Master once again is going for the Death Knight. Focus Fire is being distributed quite evenly. DK survives quite clearly here, and Focus Fire being distributed quite evenly is not really what the Orc player wants here. Once again, a Burrowed Fiend has been left behind here. Looks like KiWiKaKi doesn't know about it this time though. So once again, KiWiKaKi is held here. Once again, the trade wasn't great, but this time it was better for him than previously. A couple of Fiends died. The DK had to use his Mana Potion. Getting rid of Destroyer. Second Slaughterhouse coming right now. So it looks like we're gonna see a switch into a lot of Destroyers here by Lucifer. And the Ghouls, as far as I can tell, have all died as well. And the main of Lucifer, only 3,000 gold. So slowly the pressure is really rising here. 70 supply for the Orc. 48 for the Undead. 1-1 upgrades on the melee units, 0-1 on the Headhunters, which he now starts adding as well.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, certainly makes sense to have a couple of those within the unit mix. Lucifer looks like he bought a replenishment potion here. Having it run on the Death Knight right now, who's back to pretty much full mana here. Morphing Destroyer number 3 and Morphing Destroyer number 4. 3 of them with mana, and it looks like he's gonna go straight for the Burrows here, which are very, very unlikely to survive. Looks like a counter expansion has been anticipated here, but that's not the case. TP is on the Blade Master, Invis Potion is on the TC, so maybe he's gonna get some nice stomp in. And TP is being used immediately by the Orc, but that means that Lucifer is going to be able to sweep in here with the Fiends and the Heroes and deal a lot of damage for free. So KiWiKaKi clearly overreacting. Would have lost all of his Burrows if he didn't TP there, but well, probably still overreacting to this threat, because now the all of the Peons at the expansion have fallen. Lucifer is clearly going to be forced to TP. He doesn't have a TP though, but the Raiders have been left up here to ensnare some of the Destroyers, and it looks like since only 2 of them are remaining, he did get rid of 2 of them with his raiders, with some ensnares, with some focus fire from the burrows. So a lot of stuff happening here. The Cryptlord gets staff. Stomp is out of range clearly by KiWiKaKi, and therefore all of Lucifer's stuff, at least down here at the expansion, has survived. Only 2 destroyers left standing though, as I said. So yeah, fully loading all of these burrows clearly provided a lot of damage output against these light armored destroyers. And Lucifer continues being annoying with those. Really doing the best he can do with these destroyers. TC with the boots and the level 2 aura. So quickly moving around here. Alright, looks like KiWiKaKi is sick of being harassed here, and he's taking the fight to Lucifer. Not really sure if that's necessary though, because Lucifer is going to run out of steam with these destroyers soon anyways, and he's going to run out of gold income. Ah, but KiWiKaKi is supply blocked still, and he doesn't have any peons down here, so this is really annoying for him. Only got gold income from his main base currently. Lucifer moving out again. KiWiKaKi waiting here in the middle. Quite strangely. I mean, 2 destroyers without mana really aren't going to break the orc defenses here. It looks like Lucifer is going for those final 2 remaining camps. Is he gonna get any crucial level ups? He could get the Cryptod to level 3 if he wants to. Provided that he's not getting creep checked here, but as the Blade Master is just running around the middle together with the rest of the army, that is probably not going to be the case.
Work complete.
And yeah, the fact that KiWiKaKi is still tier 2, of course, just part of that orc mindset at the time, that the great tier 2 strength of the orc provides enough, you know, raiders, in this case, Kodos, headhunters, etc. That tier 3 is an unnecessary investment of time and resources. Kind of comes into play here, but that's just the way, you know, the thinking worked at the time. Lucifer does have a town poly. He's gonna be forced to use that one. Look at the minimap. How stretched out is that orc? I mean, he's gonna have to turn around with parts of that, because if he doesn't, then... Oh, does Lucifer realize this? It looks like he isn't. Or is he? If he's chasing after these Kodos, this could be terrible for the orc, but no. Lucifer doesn't realize that there is parts of the army missing. Speaking of parts of the army missing, both of the players kind of screwing that up here. Fiend and the obsidian statue quickly taking a turn towards the left, avoiding these Kodos here. So the gold mine of Lucifer has now run out. Is he gonna expand, or is he gonna go all in here? 70 supply for KiWiKaKi, 56 for Lucifer. KiWiKaKi is just now getting his expansion back up and running. Main of the orc is now ran out as well, and Lucifer is heading towards the right hand side, so we're not gonna see him expanding here. We're gonna see him go for the big push, and look at the numbers here. 66 supply now for Lucifer. He still has 400 gold. The Blade Master just picked up, I think, the Invo potion, so buying that away from his opponent. Lucifer decides to keep 2 statues on the ground here. KiWiKaKi getting into position, perhaps a little bit. Ah, okay, Lucifer is going around the bottom. Seems like a very, very good idea. So this positioning here too passively should have stood in the middle of the map, I guess, to force Lucifer to fight in an open position. Now Lucifer is probably going to get that fight in this narrow choke, or is he going to be forced to at least move out of the choke a little bit? Cryptlord is standing there in the front. TC invisible, getting the first stomp in, hitting very, very nicely. Blade Master is going straight for the Lich. Once again, the TC is being focused here. He uses the Invo Potion. Next stomp is coming in. Is he this time going to get the kill on the Lich? The Death Knight is moving very, very close to it, and he's getting the coil in time. The next stomp is hitting nicely. The first Fiend is about to drop here, but so is the TC. He doesn't have any defensive items anymore, and the Impale is hitting him, and the coil is hitting him as well. Lucifer is getting the kill on that TC, so only one hero left standing currently for the Orc player. Coil goes on to the Crypt Lord once again. One Bat Rider is coming in, not able to kill a Destroyer here, but doing plenty of damage. Blade Master has to fall back here. The Undead is still standing somewhat strong. The Acolytes are actually doing a very, very good job blocking here together with this Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord with Frost Armor and Talisman of Evasion and the Death Knight to back him up, dealing so much damage, and it's actually KiWiKaKi who is forced out of this fight, and all of a sudden he is the one who's down to 42 supply against 54 for Lucifer, who's taken a very beautiful fight here in this narrow position. Everything was working nicely there for him. The Crypt Lord in front tanking, the Acolytes providing a blocking line here. The TC, while he was perfectly positioned, didn't have the items to sustain his life for long enough, and didn't have the damage output to really, you know, follow up the very nicely placed stomps here. And that means the expansion is going down, and that means Lucifer is turning the game around there in the end. Taking the first map, which has been a pretty strange map strategically, to be honest. Lucifer going for the tech after, what, 8-9 minutes at 38 supply. Building like 7 Fiends before starting his tech. And he didn't get all too much out of it, to be honest. He didn't, you know, get a crazily leveled DK. He opened up a lot of time for KiWiKaKi to get his expansion up safely. KiWiKaKi took one good fight. Well, it wasn't even a fight. He just activated the speed scroll, and Lucifer basically TP'd immediately because there's nothing he can do before the Lich arrives. So I still don't get why he decides to tech so late here. And KiWiKaKi just gotten himself into a very, very good position, and then took a few awkward fights, and Lucifer just ended up trading well in every single one of those. And I mentioned it during the game. Clearly KiWiKaKi should have tagged to tier 3. He did have the time, he did have the supply lead to easily, you know, be able to afford that one, to get an orb, to get the reinforced defenses upgrade, which would have rendered the destroyer attack of Lucifer against KiWiKaKi's main base completely useless. But as I said, that was just a mindset back then that orcs basically would never go tier 3 and would always just rely on their strength on tier 2, which certainly is a strength, but a strength that can be transitioned out of into, you know, an even better and perhaps more late game suited, you know, unit composition. But KiWiKaKi decided to stay tier 2, and I claim that, you know, with some better micro, some better positioning, forcing Lucifer to fight in more open positions with the large army that KiWiKaKi had, should have done the job as well. So I claim that even with the tier 2, KiWiKaKi should have been able to win this. But he gave Lucifer some good fighting positions, especially the last one there, with the Crypt Lord really being the hero of that fight. And therefore Lucifer is the one leading here, not KiWiKaKi, even though he should have been the one leading here. And on the second map, Secret Valley, we'll see if Lucifer is going to go for the same kind of style again, and if KiWiKaKi, if Lucifer decides to go for it again, is going to be able to, you know, make better use of the time that he is perhaps going to be given. So yeah, as I said, next map going to be Secret Valley.